There we go. We should be live. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the second episode of the Kubuntu podcast. I've got mug of tea with me here. My name's Rick Timmis. Delightful to see you. And introduce yourself, guys.
Hey guys, I'm Aaron Honeycutt.
Hello, I'm Ovidiu-Florin BOGDAN.
Okay. Well, it's good to see you guys again for show number 2. I get this feeling that the show is going to improve as by the time we get to show 100, we'll be positively amateur. Anyway, so let me just get right into what people have been doing and what we've been up to. What have you been up to since I saw you last, Ovidiu?
Oh, that's a long story. Okay, so I'll start with the absolute latest news. I got a new book, so to show you that I'm a human and I do stuff. Okay. But besides that, let me
What was the book? What was the book about?
The book is a Russian book translated in Romanian. It's called The Nebulae from Andromeda, written by Ivan Efremov.
Aha.
It's been recommended to me as a sci-fi book, and I've read a short description of it, and it really seems interesting. So if anybody wants to read something in spare time, I think I will recommend it when I finish it. Okay. So now back.
I don't read Romanian though, so I'm going to struggle with that.
So now back to more on-topic news.
Okay.
Recently, that was a few days ago, there has been a new Plasma release, version 5.3.2, which the biggest news and the thing that makes me more happiest is finally I can shut down my computer properly. There was a bug in Plasma that when you clicked on shutdown, seldomly it didn't do anything. So yeah, and now it's been fixed. So yay to that, and thank you very much to the developers. Okay.
Good stuff.
I'll put the announcement in the show notes.
Okay.
So another thing, the website, the new Kubuntu website has been
looking
fully
great.
migrated.
Looking good.
It has been fully migrated to on WordPress, and right now we just have to make the final checks to make sure that everything's okay. Copy over the new posts that have been fallen behind since the freeze. Copy those, make sure everything is okay, and then launch it.
Okay.
So right now I'm waiting for some feedback from the Kubuntu community to see, okay, is it ready for development? I've sent an email about that. I'm waiting for some replies. Hey, by the way, guys, send the link to this on IRC if you haven't already.
Yeah, Aaron's got that covered. Aaron's done that.
In Devel, so people see it. There.
I got it.
Aaron's got that magic. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we've done that.
Okay. So, and besides that, I've made a new release with the theme for the website, version 0.3. So it's still below 1.
Okay.
There are still a few things that I want to make sure that are perfect. So it's not a release yet; it's just a pre-release. So never mind.
This is a new release of the website code.
No, of the website theme.
The website theme. Are you maintaining that on GitHub? Is that what you've been?
I'm maintaining that on GitHub on my account. Good point. I should give a link to that.
I'm grabbing it right now.
Pop a link in the show notes for that video. That'd be really good.
I'll type it right now. Site almost published, ready for publishing, and there, link is in.
Okay, cool. Okay.
So, next, there's a new official Kubuntu Romania forum on Kubuntu Forums on the Kubuntu Forums site. I'm gonna have to KubuntuForums.net. I'm gonna have to post a link to that as well, which I'm hoping to become used by the Romanian community. Currently, we are kind of split into many places, and I'm hoping to unify the support in that forum, in the IRC channel, and hopefully maybe some kind of stable community that people will always be always have a place where to contact and be sure that someone is always there online.
Okay.
So
that's good, and that's important.
Yeah, currently the new forum is still empty. It has just been created, but I plan to fill it with some snippets and links to the manual Aaron has been working on, which he'll talk about. And the last thing, what I want to say is I've been researching on Pootle. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Pootle.
Mm-hmm.
It's a web interface. It's a web application written in Python with the Django framework, which helps translators translate open source or not any kind of applications. It's awesome in just a few words, in one word. It's awesome. It can do many things. I'm still researching the documentation. Every time I'm commuting, I just open my Kindle and start reading the documentation.
Okay.
So heavy reading here.
But
okay.
I mean, this is something you've been quite a quite a long time. Well, in fact, you've almost been the kind of single point of drive for the Romanian translation of Kubuntu, if I recollect that correctly.
No, actually, for Kubuntu, we should get this into when we get into what is Kubuntu. We should talk about this. Kubuntu translations per se are actually KD translations and some Ubuntu translations. So in KD translations, there's a Romanian community there translating. In Ubuntu, there's already a Romanian team translating. So there are teams on both sides. What I've been contributing to both and LibreOffice and others, but I'm not the only one. I'm not even the most active translator out there for KD and for Ubuntu. So there are many people who deserve more thanks than me for translating the applications. But what I want to do with this is first have with Pootle. I want to have a test run for Kubuntu and test translating the manual Aaron is working on, and also have use this as a research for implementing this in KDE. So this way this would allow more people to contribute with translation and give suggestions of what would be the best translation for each scenario. But on this a report will be given most likely after Academy. Then there's a lot of work to be done on that, so I don't want to talk more about this until I settle it.
Okay.
Okay. So
wow, sounds good. You've been really busy.
That's it from my side.
Excellent. Cool. Okay. So Aaron, let's jump over to you because I know both of you guys are getting revved up for Academy, of course. But what have you been up to just recently since we saw you last, Aaron? What have you been up to and what you've been working on?
I've moved over all the documentation to restructured text, and I use Sphinx to shoot out some HTML and CSS, and I have it on a website on my VPS. Let me throw where it is.
Yeah, I checked out your link to that when you fired that out onto the mailing list, and I was very impressed. Actually, I'm really getting more and more impressed with the restructured text and Sphinx. It seems like a really good tool, and you've done a really good job of that so far. It's looking very good.
Thank you. And it's mostly all automated too, so it doesn't really need any output from me or anyone else.
We like automated. Most definitely we do.
Trying to throw that link in the... Okay. Yeah, that's about it. put up some Trello cards for me and Ovidio to work on a theme for it, because right now it's just using one of the default themes that's included in Sphinx. It has fully search features on it too, so I can search the entire documentation.
Cool.
I can't add up to Ovidio. He has more skills than me.
Aaron, can you show us a few snippets of it? How it looks? How have you arranged it?
What
I
the
tell
website?
you what, maybe if you get, why don't you see if you can get a screen share set up there for a minute, whilst you do that, maybe I'll give folks a little bit of an update just about a couple of things. Those of you in the live hangout, you won't have heard the podcast theme music, but you remember from the first show that we put this competition up. So we're going to produce a 3D printed KDE cog, and we're going to mail that out to somebody, whoever chooses or suggests some good theme music for the podcast that we can use, Creative Commons or sort of open licensed, and whoever we choose, we'll send that cog to. In the interim, of course, we needed some music to give us a segue and give us an intro. So the theme music that you've listened to at the beginning of the podcast and the segue intros and on the outro is actually called Carolina Shout, and it's an old 20s piece of music from the 1920s, available on archive.org, played by Fat Swaller, the great Fat Swaller, and Jelly Roll Morton. So what I've been doing this week is trying to, well, since I saw you guys last, was getting a bit of a simple tool chain set up using Ubuntu Studio, so that I can basically pull the audio from this video hangout and produce it as a podcast, and then share that with you guys up on Google Plus at the moment. We've got some more work to do, and I know some of the people in the Google Plus community were asking, hey, where is the RSS feed links and so on and so forth. We will work on that and build that out, and I'd like to think that maybe we could make that an aspect of the Kubuntu website. Perhaps there'd be a place on the Kubuntu website where the podcast and an RSS feed might be able to go. What do you think, Ovidiu?
Sorry, I missed that. I was preparing to send a link to a WebIRC for people, and I missed.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. So, well, basically, I was just suggesting that maybe with the new website, as we get it together, we'll obviously have hopefully a little bit more control and input over it. Maybe we could create a place or a space where we could put the Kubuntu podcast RSS feed, so that people could subscribe to the link and be able to get access to the show, etc.
Yeah, of course. We can add much more stuff right now to with the new website. We can add many more things. But there are a few things we are limited to because of the hosting, but they shouldn't affect us. So we can add pretty much anything we want in there. And also we want to add, besides that, we want to add some graphics that we have for Kubuntu. For example, I have this, I forgot where I put it, here somewhere. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know where it is. I've printed found it. Yeah, sorry. I've printed the case. This is just a prototype. I also posted this on Google Plus. The prototype for the Kubuntu 1504 case that will be available at Academy. But this one is the Romanian version.
Okay.
So inside it has some description, and of course, in here where the CD stays is the Kubuntu logo.
Oh, so nice.
This is very, very well made, and well, this is just a prototype. But actually, the whole design to this is credit to Aaron.
Hey, so not only has he been doing restructured text and setting up Sphinx, you've been doing some design studio stuff on the CD case as well, Aaron. Yeah.
Yep. Using GIMP.
Whoa, cool. Okay. So, how did you find the process of generating the artwork and getting everything kind of geometrically lined up in GIMP? Did you use GIMP throughout for the whole tool end to end?
Yeah, I got a PDF file from Michael Hall from the design team at Ubuntu, and they sent me the sketches and stuff, and I just drew around the design where it would be cut off.
That's really good. Yeah, that's cool. So, well, I think this is, I mean, certainly as we go, one of the things that's kind of on my like to-do list is to think more about these kind of promotional ideas. So promotional materials like that for distributing Kubuntu and getting it out to more people, but also promotional ideas like, you know, events and talking at events and getting involved in more things like that and having a stronger presence in the community. But I love what you've done with that CD case, and I'd really like to get hold of some of those for the UK, just so that I could kind of distribute them around.
The one
Not the Romanian version.
The one I have here is black and white because I don't have a colored printer, but the actual one is pretty colorful.
And where are you getting that? Are you getting that manufactured by a printer or something in Romania or something?
No, this is being done by the Ubuntu community, I believe. Aaron knows more about this.
Michael
okay.
Hall's talking to the guys the company that does Ubuntu printing and using the Ubuntu community donations to fund it.
Oh, excellent! That would be really, really good. That would be really good. Okay, so well, now whilst we were talking there, Aaron, were you able to get a little bit of a screen share set up that we can take a look here at the new documentation for Kubuntu?
This should work. Does this work?
Yes.
Yes, it
I
does.
can see it. Let me increase
You want to?
video size.
Can you set your screen share to present to everyone, so that it locks it up on the screen?
Okay, there you go. I have installation guide.
So all the screenshots are made by Aaron, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, except for the ones that are using Windows software. I didn't make those.
We don't use Windows.
Yeah.
Quite right.
I didn't take this one either. Someone else did for me because I don't have GNOME set up.
Okay.
And then I have screenshots going through the latest installer, 1504.
I really like the clean layout. Actually, one of the things that kind of, you know, when you read online documentation very often or online information, there's very often a lot of stuff on the left-hand side or on the right-hand side and a lot of cruft, and I find that really difficult to kind of read online like that. I love the clean style you've got here, Aaron. I think it's really important to keep it that way. It keeps the focus on getting just that key information out to people, which is what they want. That's why they come to look at the manual and the docs.
So according to what Rick just said, the task I had to make a theme for this website is done.
What?
Oh, I would say so. Yeah.
Using the stock theme.
Yeah, using the stock theme. Well, we can make the header blue.
Yeah, that would be top notch right there. You see that the search works too, so it searched for anything with Kubuntu in it.
Yeah. So what we have to figure out right now is how to get the strings to be able to translate them, add some localization buttons so you can switch languages. We're going to have to figure that out.
Well, Sphinx puts out PO files, and Poodle takes the PO files, and then you do that, and then it pops out .pot files. So that's.
Yeah, and how does Sphinx read them back? That's the question again. And how do you switch languages in Sphinx?
Well, I certainly
need the button for each language.
I definitely think that spending more time and energy on the translation side of things and making it accessible to people in different languages has a lot more value than doing any kind of theming work or any kind of, for me, to my eye, that I just think that looks really lovely. It's just really clean. It's like a book. It's what you would expect to see from a written manual. So I think definitely, yeah, spend the time and energy that we have got, the resources that we have got, on doing some translation work and padding it out like that. That would add much more value, I think. It's really great. You've done a superb job, Aaron. This looks really, really good.
We are all proud of him.
Yeah, and obviously this is going to be connected and linked to on the website too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
once it gets released and everything.
So the new website will launch, and incrementally we will add all these new features. But the
That's
current
looking
focus
really
is
good.
just get, like Aaron said, get our baby out the door.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. It's been a long time. It's been a long time that we've been, sort of sitting with the old website and the new theme and stuff. It's been, rumbling away and developing. And of course, these things take time. But it's really exciting right now. I mean, I was looking at just yesterday at all the links you posted into Kubuntu Devel for the development website and obviously the other one, and I'm really excited about the way the whole thing looks. It's just new and fresh, and and a really good job has been done of it so far, and it's looking really good. So definitely encourage people to go and check that out, which you can find out the details on Kubuntu Devel. Forgive me, I've got a little bit of a thing in my throat. One moment.
Check out the EPUB.
That's the EPUB generated from the documentation.
Generated from the Sphinx.
So as far as I know, we can generate many different kinds of files from that. You can do PDF, you can do EPUB. What else can you generate from it, Aaron?
I'm PDF, EPUB, HTML, like I showed. Those are the formats that I know of.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, guys, Aaron, you've been doing an awesome job, and obviously people should go and check that out. We'll put some links in the show notes for you to go and have a look at that and check it out and have a look through the documentation. Of course, use that in conjunction with the Kubuntu disk to overwrite your current operating system and come join us in our world. Okay.
You don't have to overwrite. You can dual boot until you get used to it, and then.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. don't do things by halves. Take the bull by the horns and do it properly. Just come and join us. We're friendly, lovely people. We're itching for you to get off whatever you're using right now. Get using Kubuntu. Come on down here. Come and join us in IRC. Come and get involved. Come and see. And with that, let's move on into, well, actually, I say move on to the next thing. You did explicitly say that I had to absolve myself for.
You're really gonna say that?
Yeah. So angle bracket insert audio, angle bracket / insert audio. Right. I'll put that in there. Yeah. Okay. I hold my hands up. I don't answer my phone very often, if ever, because people always just want to ring up and talk to me, and I don't want to talk to them. So, so poor Ovidiu, you've been trying to phone me for about a day and made many calls, and I did see actually the stuff that you sent me on Telegram this morning saying, can I call you? Where are you? And being really genuine. It's absolutely true. I don't answer my calls very often. So if I don't look at the phone and it's ringing, I just let it go to answer phone, and I'll deal with it later because I like to do one thing at a time. But if I do see that it's you calling or somebody that I know, so if I did see it was you calling Ovidiu, I'd looked on my Ubuntu phone screen and seen that, I would have answered it. Okay, so it's nothing personal.
By the way, Rick, this is some news on your part that you forgot to mention. You have an Ubuntu phone right now.
Oh yes, I do. Yeah, I have. I've got that. In fact, it gets better than that because the story goes. I bought one Ubuntu phone just as a test development one for my wife, and so I gave that to her to see how she would get on with it. She really liked it. She thought it was really good. I was so impressed with it. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to buy one. And then that impressed me so much. I thought, I've got two daughters, and I thought I just want them to be the coolest cats in school. I want them to be the coolest kids in school. So they've both been rocking up to school for the last week with their Ubuntu phone, showing it off to all their friends with all the,
Everybody
with all that.
Wondering, what's that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, it looks so nice.
The card stacker. I've got it up here on the screen. If I hold that up to the camera, you can see. Bit of luck. If I can do this, but you've got this the applications that are running in the cards.
Everybody's showing off that part, but show off the rest of it. Show off the.
Okay.
Menu
you
with
can.
icons. Show off everything else that makes it great.
All right. So, well, here's the menu with the icon bar out the side. Yeah, so you can see kind of like just like you would expect with Unity, and then anything that you want to do with the phone in terms of finding out, well, anything to do with kind of the system settings, the network, Bluetooth, and all that kind of stuff is all on the top here. Let me give a shout out actually to one of the applications which I'm so impressed with. The guy that wrote this is called Podbird, and it is a podcast downloader and aggregator for Ubuntu Phone, and they've done a really great job. You know, you can it'll automatically download and queue things, download them overnight onto the wireless, and then set them all up for you. You can manage all the settings in it. It's a native application that just works really, really good.
And I see that you're subscribed to Floss Weekly.
Oh yes, I am. Yeah, I'm subscribed to Floss Weekly, and
people, don't forget to floss and to listen to Floss.
Yeah, Floss Weekly, Linux Voice, Linux Action Show, At Random. The At Random podcast is another one of my podcasts, actually, a broader sort of.
So you're listening to yourself.
Yeah, oh yeah, I like to listen to myself. Yeah, I mean, there are times when I want to stop talking, and that's when I like to listen. But really, if I'm going to listen, I only really want to hear me.
One more thing I'd like to add to the news section. This autumn, between the dates of 6th and 13th of September, is going to happen. There's going to take place a KDE sprint in Rwanda, and the topic for this is to focus on tablet/smartphone and touch platforms and make our software fit for them. So and further work on this. So they will mostly work on the Plasma. I don't know if Plasma, but they mention here a few applications: Touch UI for KDE in Live or for Android, and optimized applications for a touchscreen interface. So this is going to happen this September at the Rwanda Sprint.
Well, okay, so
I've added a link to this as well. People may join, KDE developers, because this is a sprint where people gather to develop, to work, to make software.
Okay. Yeah, great. Well, we've got that. I've seen that just appear in the show notes. Lots
Currently,
going on.
there are 57 people planning to go.
Wow, okay, that sounds really cool. So I was just giving a shout out about Podbird there, so I just want to mention 3 people here. Michael Sheldon, he's the creator of Podbird. Nakhalesh Ramanathan, who's the other developer. Those are the 2 guys that wrote it. And Kevin Fider, who's the designer. Those guys, hat tip to you folks. Ace job. Podbird, love it. Absolutely awesome. Ubuntu Phone, wicked. Listen, don't even think about it. Just go and get one. They're only they're 160 euros. And that's not locked to any network. Go figure. You've got to go get one. And also, whilst we were talking there about obviously KDE, Plasma Active, and porting to get things running on Ubuntu Phone, one of the a really lovely person who I like to consider a friend is Scarlett Clark, and she's just posted into IRC that she's planning to put Ubuntu Phone onto the KDE continuous integration platform. That's Jenkins that we're using for that, so that we can begin porting KDE apps to it. So woohoo! Nice one, Scarlett.
Awesome.
Ace job. That sounds really, really good.
And she will also be at Rwanda.
Oh wow! Okay. And where now? I don't know where in the world Rwanda is.
Just follow that link. There's a OpenStreetMap, and it will show you exactly where it is and what you have to do to join.
Which country is it in?
If I remember correct, let me check. Switzerland.
Switzerland. Woohoo! Okay, well, I suppose I could go there, but only any good if you want somebody to make tea and toast, because my C++.
I'd love to go, but unfortunately I have some prior stuff that forbid me. I can't go. I have some stuff that I need to take care of in that period.
Oh, okay. Not to worry. Well, look, I tell you what.
Since this is for me and this is the last Kubuntu podcast before we go to Academy.
Yes, it is. That's right. So, and we got more on that, a little more on that when you come back, because we're going to get a report from Academy.
Yeah.
And another heads up as well. We in show 1 we got very excited about Full Circle magazine, and we were looking at that and telling people how they could go and find out more about Full Circle magazine, awesome open source Creative Commons licensed magazine that you can download. Go find it, fullcirclemag.com. On our next show, we got Ronnie, who is the producer of Full Circle magazine. He's going to come on the show and do an interview for us, tell us about how he got going, the tool chain that he uses, what inspired him to create the magazine, what the background is for it, and so on and so forth. So nice one, Ronnie. We're looking forward to getting you to come down here to Kubuntu Podcast and join us. So don't miss that in show 3, review of Academy and an interview with Ronnie from Full Circle magazine. Okay, guys, I want to move forward quickly because we've used half an hour of our time already and we've got 30 minutes left. We really need to get into what Kubuntu is and start getting some more lowdown and more information on that one. I wanted to start this off actually by starting right at the very beginning. So, you know, we just take for granted Kubuntu and Linux, and we kind of we accept that it's known in the mainstream what it is, but it still does not have that massive market share that people really kind of understand that you know, Linux, GNU Linux is a completely acceptable and totally viable alternative operating system for your PC computer, laptop, to Mac OS or to Windows 7, 8 or Windows 10. Okay, it's that's what we're talking about. We're talking about a computer operating system that comes with a whole suite of application programs that you can install and set up on your hardware, or you know, you could buy a machine with it on. So that's the important distinction, really, is starting at that very beginning and getting to know what that is. Now,
show people about the show it while you're talking.
Yeah, absolutely. So why don't we get something set up for a moment? I mean, we've seen the new website and we've seen the documentation, but let's start at the beginning by just telling people a little bit about what Kubuntu is as a distribution. So. So maybe I'll take 30 seconds to just describe that.
You can describe while I'll try to set up the screencast.
Yeah. Great. Okay. So Ovidiu is going to set up some screenshots for the live viewers who are watching this on YouTube, and you can find out more. You can see that shortly. So Kubuntu takes the GNU Linux distribution. So that's the underlying operating system, and there are many flavors of the operating system. Linux is the kernel. It is a little bit like kernel 32 in Windows, or the kernel that drives Mac OS X. We merge that together with a whole series of GNU tools that come from the Free Software Foundation, or Free Software FSF, and that gives us a base computer system on top of which we can install and develop many more software. The Ubuntu team at Canonical take those sources of GNU Linux kernels and many applications that are produced and provided and packaged by many developers across the whole of the planet, and those are all aggregated together by the Debian project. Debian produce a whole range, somewhere in the region of probably more than 30,000 different applications and pieces of software in all kinds of different things. Almost anything you can think of, there are software tools, more than one, several software tools that will be able to give you a solution. Those things come from Debian. What Ubuntu does is they then package that and make this very accessible to human beings, make it nice and simple to install, make it accessible, make it look beautiful, add Unity desktop to it, for example, and so on and so forth, and package that up, deliver it to you as a installable, workable, alternative operating system that you can run alongside Windows or run alongside Apple Mac if you wanted to, or you can just use it exclusively, as many people do. Now, Kubuntu, what we do is we are a flavor of the Ubuntu Linux distribution. What's special about what we do is that we work very closely and carefully with the KDE community. KDE is a platform that is built on a software framework called Qt, You'll very often see this identified with Qt. People very often call it Qt, but it's pronounced Qt. It was originally developed by Trolltech, and that platform is cross-platform. So it means that you can run KDE applications on Apple Mac if you want. You can run them on Windows, you can run them on Linux, and indeed, in actual fact, you can actually run them on iOS and Android as well now with the new
And they're developing
SDK.
they're working on it to work on Windows Phone as well. So I think there's already a piece for Qt working on Windows Phone. So basically, you can run Qt applications on anything that Qt has been ported to. And right now, it's not just about the operating system. Qt is also working on embedded systems. There are many companies right now using Qt to make applications for their embedded systems. So there are many cars right now running, their interface on the screen is running Qt, is using Qt to display the control panel and notifications and everything.
So basically, what the Kubuntu flavor of the Ubuntu distribution is doing is taking that Qt framework and taking the KDE K desktop environment software developed by that community to create something really friendly, really flexible, really beautiful. And have you got some of those screenshots ready now, Ovidiu? Could we take a look?
Ready, it's already put.
So I'm going to present that as a screenshot and screen share, and take us through it, and let's show us what you've got there, Ovidiu.
Can you please confirm it? Okay, this should be visible right now to everybody. So this is the stock install.
Not visible. Not visible. It is visible now. That's great. Thank you.
Okay, I don't know how you did that. You should teach me. Okay, so now it should be visible to everybody. This is the stock install of the latest Kubuntu. So as soon as you install it, you are presented with this screen. You have a widget here showing what the files that are on the desktop. I know most people are used to seeing these files directly on the desktop, but KDE by default it shows it like this in order to allow people to customize what they want to see on the desktop. For example, with this widget, you can choose not to show the desktop folder. You can show a different folder, or you can customize. You have a bigger range of customization on how to display all these files. To show thumbnails, don't show thumbnails, size, icons, all kinds of details. When you use KDE applications, you need time to search through the settings. There are many things you can customize. Sometimes there are so many that you actually get bored, but sometimes there are so many that you have something to do when you're bored. Okay.
So take us for a test drive around then, and show us what it's like.
This is the panel, which is very similar to what the other desktop environments have, including Windows. If I click on the K menu, you are presented with the favorites. These are the favorites applications, which people may choose to remove from favorites if they don't want them, and then go to applications, go to internet, choose a different application. For example, I remote connect from time to time, then I need to add this to favorite. There. This is added here, and I can quick access it. Okay, applications. These are organized by categories, as most other Linux distributions do. They organize the applications by categories. So
now let's just get that right. All of these applications, you said this is a stock installation, so that means when it comes with all of these applications out of the box.
Yes. So everything right now is installed. Comes out of the box. Mathematics and science. You have formula editor from LibreOffice. This is the same. It's in two categories. Graphics. You have document viewer, painting, image viewer, scanner applications, screenshot. What else? Internet. You have a torrent application. Most people use torrents not for piracy, but to download and share ISOs and other big files. Bluetooth manager, aggregator for RSS, IRC client. I'll just skip through these. Instant messaging application. What else? There's
Now we
Firefox comes by default, and many others. You can just walk around through these and see.
Now I said in the introduction there as well that there were, more than 20,000 different applications that are maintained by the Debian project. Is there a place to get more software?
Of course.
Or just go and download that from the internet like you do on Windows? Just go and find some exe files, or
so when you open this menu, you can just it's open, you can just type in there. If you search for a specific application, you can just find that. For example, I'm searching for Firefox. I'm just type for each letter that I type, then the search is updated. So if you want more applications, I believe you can also do this. Yeah, you can just search for software.
Okay.
If you can search like this, and the name of the application is Muon Discover. This is the software center that comes with Kubuntu, and through this you can discover new applications.
Okay, so this is like an app store.
This is the app store for Kubuntu. So they are also categorized here, and you can see some of them sorted by popularity and some by rating. But you can also search. You have a search box which is focused by default, and you can search in there for something. For example, if you want to edit videos, for example, I type in here video edit, and you see here applications for video editing. What I want to show exactly is the KDE video editor, which is right here. Sorry, I scrolled back. KDE in Live.
It's ace. That's a great video editor. I use that. It's really good.
See the description. The screenshot I see it's not loading for some reason. And from here, just click install. It asks you for the password. As usual in Linux, you cannot install. You cannot modify system level stuff except by using the password. This is one thing that makes it very secure. So I just type in the password. So this was a stock install. Because of you guys, I'm ruining my stock install and I'm installing something new.
But the point there is that there's
right
all
now
that
have a
software
small progress
that you can
bar
just
which is almost invisible over there, which shows that it's downloading and it's installing. When that will be done, you can just click on this button and the application will open. Meanwhile, while that is installing, you can return, you can go back to search, you can go back to home, and let's go to games.
And the desktop's certainly going to be familiar to people who've been used to using Windows, because obviously the little, where you get your main menu is in the bottom left-hand corner, and on the bottom right-hand side you've got the usual sets of widgets, time and calendar and notifications and things. So it's a familiar setting for people who have used Windows who might be considering looking at this.
If you click on the clock, you can see the calendar. You can also edit the clock settings, so it shows you the date, but if you just hover it, it shows you, well, it's localized in Romanian for me. It shows you the day of the week and then the date. You have here sound. Oh, this is something that I really want to show everybody. Something you don't have by default in Windows. When you're listening to something in KDE, in any Linux distro that has KDE on it, when you hover the mouse over the sound controller, you can just scroll from here, and the volume goes up or down. If you just click the scroll on this, it will go to mute automatically. And when you click on this, you can adjust the individual sound from each application.
There's so many things. I mean, there
are many things. If I were to present everything, I would need much more than an hour, and this is just a quick presentation.
Of course.
For example, this is a clipboard history. Shows you what you've copied recently, and you can select an older link, an older element. This is the network manager. This tells me that I have updates. Here I have other stuff: battery and brightness, device notifier, KDE Connect, printers, and many other things. Which, when they are active, they are shown here. They are not hidden. But right now they're hidden.
I should mention KDE Connect while you're there, because that's direct integration between your Android phone and the KDE desktop. So you can have text messages arrive on your phone and notify you on your KDE desktop. You can get files on your phone and share them straight onto the desktop, or backwards and forwards. So you've got a whole range of ways for that to happen, and that just happens directly over Wi-Fi. So long as your phone and your laptop or your desktop device are connected to the same network, not necessarily, your phone connected to the Wi-Fi on the same network, the two will see each other, and then you can share that information, and you've got that seamless integration. And what Ovidiu is setting up here now are just some of the desktop widgets that just show you just some of the simple customizations. And this is the kind of stuff that makes KDE and Kubuntu, just makes it so beautiful and really nice to work with. It's this subtle flexibility and control. It's just really, really, really awesome. We've got a lot to get through, guys, so I'm going to press on a little bit here, but whilst I talk and move us on in the show notes, we'll leave this presentation up, and a video will start building out some more things on the desktops for you guys to see if you're watching the Hangout Live or watching this on Ubuntu. But I'm just going to drive over to Aaron for a moment and see whether you could just tell us a little bit about how you could go about getting hold of Kubuntu. Aaron, where should people go, and how do they go about doing it? Do they need to get a disk, or how does that work? How can people get hold of Kubuntu and give it a try?
Kubuntu.org is the main website, and then IRC chat rooms and mailing lists.
Okay, and so if you go to Kubuntu.org, you'll download a file, or what do we
this
need
image
to do
called .iso, and then you can go to the manual that'll walk you through burning the ISO to a USB or a thumb drive.
Okay, and so we've got instructions on how to do that in the documentation that you've been working on, which is what some of the screenshots where we saw earlier. Yes.
Yeah. I'll put that in the show notes.
And so people could, so maybe people can burn a disk. Can they use a USB stick?
Yes, I believe the minimum should be about 2 to 4. I would recommend 4 gigs thumb drive.
Okay. Yeah, so we get a 4 gig thumb drive. Download the file on Windows or Mac or whatever, and then so you've followed the instructions and burned it to the disk. Then what do you do to get it up and running?
You plug it into your computer and restart it, and then there's a special key sitting on a laptop or desktop to boot into the thumb drive or CD. It depends on the manufacturer of the laptop or desktop.
And now, obviously, I'm going to be worried if I'm using my Windows PC and I've just downloaded this file from the internet. I'm going to be worried about what's going to happen to my computer when I boot off this disk. What's going to happen to my Windows files and all of the stuff that's on my computer to start with, Aaron?
Nothing at all. Everything is run live, and no Windows files or anything is affected until you say so.
So when you say run live, what does that mean? Is it running on your computer, medium, or?
It's running from Medium, the USB or DVD.
Okay. So if I've got this, if I've downloaded this and made my DVD, it's going to run from my DVD, and the computer, the discs in my computer are completely unaffected. So I take that DVD out and boot my computer back up, and it just goes back to Windows exactly how it was before. Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. So I think the point I wanted to stress there, the point that we're trying to stress to people listening to the podcast or watching the show, is that you can try this completely free from implication. You just go and download the ISOs, take a look at the manual page, and you can see straight away how it'll walk you through making that disk or making that USB key. Then you can boot your machine, and you can try Kubuntu and play around with it like a video's doing. You can set things up and look at the different things that are installed. And there's no obligation to install it. Remove the disk or remove the key and go right back to Windows if you find you didn't like it. And here on the screen you can see videos zooming in for us. You can see this part of the boot process. So when you boot off that disk or you boot off the key, you get this choice to try, Kubuntu, which is this non-destructive thing Aaron was just explaining to us, or of course the second option is to install Ubuntu. Now, in that, can you tell us a little bit more about that situation, Aaron? Is that just going to wipe, when I press that button, is that just going to wipe my Windows PC out, or what's going to happen?
It's not going to wipe it out immediately. It's going to ask you which setup you want to have for the installation, whether you want to dual boot with Windows and Kubuntu, or wipe Windows off and install just Kubuntu, or you can specify very precisely which setup you want to do.
So so you can see here in this picture, this is sharing. It's sharing the.
So it resizes the current partition and it uses the remaining free space.
Okay.
This is the default. So it doesn't affect your current installation, whatever that is. It can be Windows, Mac, another Linux. When by default it suggests that it resizes the current partitions. So if there isn't any free space already, it resizes them so that it has enough free space to install.
Okay, so let me summarize that back so that we've got some real clarity there. So it's going to take, in this install process example here, it's going to take the Windows or your Mac or your whatever operating system you've got installed on your hard drive. The installer is going to really smartly look at that disk and find out how much free space is available. Then it's going to take some of that free space and split the disk up so that it can install Kubuntu into the free space. And then you're going to have a machine that has got two operating systems on it, I suppose. So
yes, two or more, depending how many you have. But yeah, let's go with two.
So how are you going to know which one you're going to be booting into then?
When you boot up?
Yeah.
You're going to be presented with a menu to pick which operating system you want to boot from if you have multiple.
Okay, so at boot time, when I get my little splash screen comes up, that's now going to be a menu, and it's going to say, do you want to start Windows or do you want to start Kubuntu? And I can just choose. So I can have two operating systems side by side and choose which one I want to use each time I boot up.
You can have as many as you want. I think it depends on if you're using a master boot or UEFI. It depends on which partition type you have on the hard drive, but that might be a bit out for this demonstration.
Yeah. So and we can see some images here that Ovidiu is sharing with us, and you can see here's
It will look something like this, but this is not the actual image. This is the only one I found quickly that's big enough.
Okay.
I must admit, it will say Ubuntu or Windows or whatever you have. Let me go back.
That one will work.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That one has Windows.
Yeah, but it's quite small, so.
That's okay. Yeah, no, that's really good. That looks really good
so
now.
This is about how it will look when you boot up your computer. And from here you can use the arrow keys to choose whatever you want to boot. By default, it always boots the first one. If you want to change the boot by default in Windows, that can be arranged.
So here, even whilst our new users that are experimenting with Kubuntu, they've made the DVD, they've tried it out, they decided actually, I like this, I'd like to install some more of the software. They can share their machine off, and then they're still going to get this non-destructive choice. So all the time, their Windows installation, their Windows operating system, or whatever Mac or whatever they've got is safe. Is safe, yeah.
Yes. This is how I first migrated to Linux. I dual booted a lot until I got used to how the environment works and how the applications work, and until more applications became available for Linux, I dual booted. And when I felt ready, I just gave up Windows. And right now I don't have any Windows running in my house. Even my brother, my mom, my wife, everybody uses Linux now. Well, except my dad, he still uses Windows, but that's going to change.
That's what I like, positivity. That is going to change, absolutely. And of course, why wouldn't it change? As we saw there when we were looking at the desktop, I mean, it's gorgeous, isn't it?
I've gotten him right now to use OwnCloud, and he will use Linux later, but It's progress. He uses OwnCloud now.
Yeah. Yeah, OwnCloud's really good. That's a really good tool. Okay, so we've had a look at at how to getting it on a disk, installing it. We can see that that's nice and safe and easy to do. And there's a nice bit of documentation there we can find out. But obviously, you know, people are going to be coming to this new. They've got some documentation. They've got the website they can go to. But you know, everybody needs some help sometimes when you're doing things new for the first time. So you know, you're on your own. You're playing about with this. Where do people go to get help? How can they? How can we help these folks that are trying to try this out for the first time? What can we do about that, Aaron?
You can head over to the support tab on the documentation. I'll give you some links to the IRC and mailing list to ask questions.
Okay. So the IRC, now of course we take for granted what IRC is, but that's basically Internet Relay Chat. Now, obviously, most of the time, what people are going to be doing is they're going to be trying out Kubuntu. Maybe they're trying the live CD, or maybe they've just dual boot installed it, and they now want to get some help to ask, how do I edit a video, or what do I use to how do I get my printer connected? Ovidiu, is there any way you could maybe set up and show us how people from the live CD can get access to some help? Straight there from within the Kubuntu software system.
Yeah, of course. So this is the stock install. Let me close a few widgets here so it's cleaner. Okay, so you can just launch from here, go to Applications, Internet, IRC Client.
Okay.
When you open it, it creates a default identity. You can just click Connect. And
here it goes. It's taking a second to load it. There it goes. Okay, okay. So
but I see that it doesn't. Here it is.
Yeah, here it is.
You click on Kubuntu channel. And you just type in. And someone in there is going to answer.
Hey, yeah.
This is live chat. You can talk to people. People will help you with what issues you have. And if someone doesn't answer immediately, just be patient. Don't wait 50 seconds and then just leave, because we won't be able to reply to you. If you can't wait, then I recommend you use the mailing list or the forum and leave a message there, and you will be notified when there's a reply. If you can't wait. But if you can wait for a while, I recommend you leave this window open. Aaron, could you give me a message and mention me? Meanwhile, I'll minimize this.
On what, IRC?
Yes, on IRC. Mention me as the user I've just sent a message to. So it's just Ovidiu right now. So I
did.
You added an exclamation mark at the end, so it didn't.
It did.
Okay, then do it again, please. So while I'm just doing here my thing, did you send me a message right now?
Yeah, the default settings. Default settings are not set to do that. Can change those for 1510.
Oh, you're after the
they should be changed then. So what we expected to happen was a notification like that one. When someone sends you a message, you can see that these are highlighted in red. Thank you, Scarlett. You can see that these are highlighted in red. Let me see if I go to configure notifications. New message, but I'm
click on new Nick mentioned in the channel you are, didn't it?
Nick mentioned it on the top.
But we should get a bug raised for that to get that changed in 1510.
Curie works.
I don't see it. Sorry, Nick.
The third one on the top.
Right now.
In the top.
So
this one.
So basically, we've got for you guys that are wanting to get involved in the community. While these guys get this this little demo set up to show you what's going to happen when you would see this, obviously you've got that instantaneous feedback, and we really do welcome people. If you're trying out Kubuntu, come into the IRC and let us know. Join the channel. There's a whole bunch of us that are in there, and give us a little wave, jump in and say hi. I'm new. Hi, I'm new trying Kubuntu or whatever, and we'll be there, we'll help you out, and we'll encourage you. One of the things that the Kubuntu community and the team, we really pride ourselves on is this idea of being the friendly computing community. Kubuntu is friendly computing, that everything is very beautiful, very flexible, lots and lots of settings and things that you can change to get things just the way that you want them. We want computing to be really friendly and work well for you. And of course, our forums as well allow you to post more complicated questions or more things that you might be having other struggles with, and we'll notify you back by email from the forums as soon as people post a response or answer your questions. So all of us that are here at Kubuntu, we're all right out there to welcome you and to help you along. And how's that demo looking, guys? Did you get it fixed?
I asked a question on IRC, how do I get the video drivers installed? And Aaron replied to me, and I opened the application he recommended, and here I see what drivers I want to install. I can just select, okay, I want this, and let's say I don't want this. If I don't understand these, and I can just copy paste. No, I can't copy paste. I should be able to copy paste this message. Sorry guys, you'll have to write that. Copy that.
Note for future shows: never do live demos.
No, live demos are good, but we should write these down, so don't forget them. Because these are things that can be very useful to people. So I can select text here, but I can't select it here. So this should be fixed.
A screenshot.
Yeah, you can get a screenshot. Just press the print screen button.
Or print screen, yeah, that one.
And I think, well, this is running in a virtual machine, so it might not be
detecting the
clip. It ran outside of the virtual machine. It didn't send to the virtual machine. Sorry, you can't see that. So basically, it just opens the case snapshot.
The important thing is that the help is right there instantaneously, and that's something that's really important to understand. It's the difference between an open community software distribution, so you are not going to get that instantaneous chat support on your Windows machine, and you're not going to get that on your Apple Mac. Whereas with this, you're going to have that instantly available to you there and then, so you can ask questions. And as I say, once again, we really want to encourage you, even if you haven't got a question, open up the IRC channel, connect, come and wave, come and say hi, say hello to a few people. We'll be really pleased to see you, because of course we love to see people experimenting with the software that we all work so hard to develop and to put out there and to work on. Well, guys, of course we are just running. I mean, we're run over the end of our show now, so we've really got to start wrapping this up. But we have covered the key points that we wanted to do. We will post all of these show notes up into our Google Plus channel. We'll copy and paste those into our Google Plus channel in a moment. And then look out, of course, a little bit later in about a week or so, and we'll have the show notes and the podcast made available and made ready. So I'm just going to hand over to Ovidiu and Aaron for some final comments, and I'll be back with you shortly to say cheerio. But Ovidiu, have you got any final parting comments and things that you'd like to get across to people in these final couple of minutes?
Yeah, sure. So the last thing I want to say, go to kubuntu.org. And from here, you can find everything. You can get Kubuntu, take a feature tour, watch a few screenshots, and read a bit about how Kubuntu works. You can see here the technologies used. If you need help, you can just go to Find Help. Here you can see commercial support, free documentation, community, community support and other stuff. And you can, if you want to contribute, just come here, go to the contribute section. You will find here more information about how you can contribute to this by development, by testing. You don't need to know programming in order to contribute. You can test applications for us. You can test the installation. You can help us improve the documentation. If there's something that you think in the documentation is misinterpreted or not explained properly, you can help us with that. You can help other users. If you're more experimented, you can help other users by giving them support. You can just be available in the Kubuntu channel, and if someone needs support, offer it to them. And of course, translation. Not only to translate the documentation and offer localized support, but also we have localized teams in many different, for example, if I go here, where do I go to see the local teams?
I think it was a bottom link.
Yeah, here, if you go to community,
Yeah.
you go to community, you see here the live chat, web forums, and here are the language support in these languages for Kubuntu right now.
Fantastic.
You can report bugs, and don't forget to follow us, and by us I mean Kubuntu and Kubuntu Podcast on Google+. But the Kubuntu project is not just on Google+. You can also find Kubuntu on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn.
Awesome, fantastic. Thanks very much, Ovidiu. Thank you for all of that information, and I think that's going to be really useful to people. And Aaron, so some final parting comments and pointers from you. Anything else that you'd like people to know, or people should be paying attention to?
Please go through the documentation for errors, typos, and those such things, and suggestions for improvements, because it's just me writing right now, so I can always use some improvement and help with it.
So the documentation is not just this. Aaron, mostly you take from what I'm showing right now on user base?
Yeah, it's all on user base, and I move it over the restructured text.
So if they contribute right now, where should they contribute? On user base?
User base, and I'll just pull it and put on the GitHub I have right now.
Okay, and once you have that up, how can they contribute?
What, the GitHub or that one?
The new documentation you're working on.
Well, I'm just using user base as a way for people to freely edit. Then I'll just move over the changes to GitHub and build it with Sphinx.
Okay.
That's the easiest way for people to contribute to it. Just the wiki.
Excellent. Okay, so well, listen, it's been a real. I just love doing this podcast. It's so good, and I'm finding that the great thing about hanging around with you guys is I'm learning stuff too, and there's this kind of knowledge sharing going on. We hope that that comes across to you guys out there who are listening and watching the show. We really want you to feed back to us as well and tell us what you'd like to see in the show. If you've got guests or people that you think we should get on and talk to find out more about things, then let us know and we'll get in touch with those people. We'll do the legwork and we'll try and get those people on, like we did with Ronnie from Full Circle Magazine. Follow us on Google+. We are plus Kubuntu Podcast, and pass your comments, etc. Don't forget about the theme music competition. Do give us some good suggestions for what you think would be some really good, great theme music for the show. So we're going to sign off and say cheerio to you. So, oh yeah, and don't forget that Aaron's holding it up. That's 3D printed KDE cog. That is what's up for grabs, and these they're unique.
Wait. Change the image so that people can see Aaron.
Oh, okay.
It's still stuck on me.
Is it?
Stop presenting. Let's try that. Ooh, no, it's still stuck on him. Let me present to everyone. There you go. Hold it up again now, Aaron. There it is. So that the wonderful 3D printed. Look at the quality of that. Never mind the quality. Look at the thickness. Fantastic. So that's printed by on Red Hat's 3D printer. So we're going to get you guys one of those. It probably won't be that one because that one's going to Academy. It'll probably be one that we get from my 3D printer. But we'll get one for you, and that's going to be going to the person who we choose the theme music from. So come and join us next time. Full Circle Magazine, report back from Academy. Ronnie's going to be joining us. Do come and come and join us. Find out when the show is going to be. You can follow us on Google Plus, Kubuntu Podcast. Next show is going to be Wednesday, the 5th of August. Shows are always going to be the first Wednesday in the month. My name is Rick Timmis. You can find me on Google Plus. Search for me Rick Timmis, or you can check out my blog, which is sickrimit.blogspot. You can find me on IRC as either Rick Timmis or Sickrimit. Come and find me. Come and say hi. Been great talking with you. Good night from me. Over to you, Ovidiu.
So my name is Ovidiu-Florin BOGDAN, as you can see it, and you can find all kinds of contact details from me from my blog, which is ovidiu.geekaliens.com, and from there you can find me on many social networks and other contact details. So, good night from me.
Hey guys, Aaron Honeycutt. You can find me on usefloss.com, my blog, and all social media on there. See you next time, guys.